Good evening and welcome to the Amadeity Spiritual Service. Our guest medium this evening, as you will all have guessed, is Joanne Csaszar. Hopefully I've said that right. Good evening and welcome, Joanne. Okay, the outline of our service this evening is as follows. We'll have an opening prayer, followed by an address, followed by some music, and a moment's silence for distant healing, followed by some more music. Then have a demonstration of mediumship, followed by our notifications and closing prayer. And as usual, the chat will stay open for anybody who wishes to stay and have a chat. Okay, now I have muted you, Joanne, so I will now hand back to you for the opening prayer, so you need to unmute yourself. Lovely.
Divine Spirit, we ask for a blessing on this meeting, and we ask for a blessing on every home that's represented. And we ask for special thanks and blessings to Kevin for the organisation and the preparations that he makes, so that we all might enjoy our time together. We ask first for this world that we live in. We ask for enlightenment and peace to reign. We ask for protection of the innocent and protection of the vulnerable. Now we ask for ourselves that we each may feel a little peace of heart and peace of mind whilst we're gathered here together, and that our guides, helpers and inspirers are permitted to draw close and weave the energies needed for a service such as this. And in doing so, create the pathway for our loved ones to draw close, to put across their messages, those messages of everlasting love, and those messages in confirmation of the afterlife. For myself, I ask to be the best channel that I might be on this occasion. Amen.
Okay, Joanne, I'll hand back to you for the address when you're ready.
I think it's going to be about never say never. Never say never. We have, so many experiences in life, and we all know that we learn the hard way. It's the harsh experiences that make us sit up and take notice and actually think more about what we do want and what we don't want. And when we have those harsh experiences, the tendency is to say, never again. I'm not going to get hurt. I'm not going to get stung. I'm not doing that again. But you know what? The only thing is to actually change for the better. We can't cut our noses off to spite our face. We can't withhold experiences from ourselves that might bring us joy. For the last, for the last 8 months, I've had to really put my life back into context. My son was killed in a road traffic accident, and 26 hours later, his baby boy was born. And I knew that I could not deny myself that joy. It would have been very easy to have chosen the bitter option and the angry option at a piece of black ice on the road and kept my mind and all my attention locked on that. But I had a little baby boy in my arms that 26 hours later, who was his daddy's doppelganger, apart from the colour of his eyes. And I knew that I had to let that joy in and not let this baby suffer for all the sins that happened to his father on that fateful morning. And I swore after that, because I ended up taking my son's dog in, and she was in pup. And I became midwife to 9 Springer Spaniel puppies for 12 weeks. That was my therapy. And I swore I wouldn't have another little dog after that. my relationship broke up, and I swore I wouldn't have another one. And this last 8 months, I've really had to backtrack on all that. What will I let into my heart? You can't be bitter. You can only choose to be better. I'm in a very fortunate position that I coach several trance mediums. So quite often I'm given a personal address or instruction or even a telling off from higher spirit. And really this last 8 months, what it's been about is, Joanne, change, embrace that change. The message is getting stronger and stronger. And they're now talking about extinction or change. And I'm going, I'll change, don't worry. But they're quite right. If we don't change with the times, if we don't open our hearts and embrace what's coming towards us, we do become like dinosaurs. We start to detach from all parts of this earthly life. And this earthly life is where we are supposed to learn. We're supposed to experience. We're supposed to experience the trauma of loss, the disruption of change. You know, it's the only place where we can have this full range of emotional experience. And we have to change. We have to go with the flow. There's no option to say no, nay, never again, because life goes forwards and we'd be left behind like the dinosaurs to go extinct. I'm not old enough to go extinct yet. There's still some years left in me. So if ever you see me procrastinating or digging my heels in or pulling a face, tell me off. Tell me I'm going to go extinct. Tell me I've got to go with it. And tell me that I did promise Spirit I'd not say never again. Thank you very much.
Beautiful, Joanne. Such a personal and deep address there. Thank you very much for that. We'll have our first piece of music. Oh, a catchy tune. Please join me now in a moment's silence as we send out healing to all those who are in need of it this evening. If you do know someone who's in need of healing, please hold them in your thoughts as I read out the healing prayer. Gracious Spirit, of thy goodness, hear our anxious prayer. Take our loved ones who are suffering, neath thy tender care. Loving Father, hear us. Gracious Spirit, may thy presence shed a healing ray, turning all their night of darkness into glorious day. Loving Father, hear us. Gracious Spirit, shouldst thou claim them, be their light and guide. Lead them to the heavenly kingdom, safely by thy side. Loving Father, hear us. Hear us. Amen. Lovely song. Okay, and I'll ask you all to send out your love to Joanne as she links into our loved ones on our behalf. Over to you, Joanne.
Thank you. Right, there are some people I've met before, so it's nice to see you again. Everybody else who I've never met before, it's lovely to meet you. I'm very clairsentient, so your loved ones come into my auric, no they don't, they send vibrations through my auric field for me to interpret. And sometimes they have to use a sledgehammer to crack this nut. So sometimes if they're talking about an emotion, they may, the way it comes out of my mouth may actually be heavier than it is, or a more intense emotion, but on the same vein. Once your loved ones get the measure of me and understand how to use me as their puppet tonight, then they'll start talking to me. I always say, if you had a gossipy granny, I'm in my element, because I'll hear her talking as I'm starting to feel her. If you have, if you had an uncle who was a proper wallflower and didn't join in anything and didn't talk to anybody, to be honest, it's like pulling teeth. But I will try my best. Now, there was a lady, and I'm just going to have to look round. Sorry, I wear varifocal, so if I just look like I'm peering and looking a bit funny, then I'm sorry. No, I can't see how I should take notice of your name. No. Right, okay, I'm going to have to put this out. There isn't somebody who's come in and then popped back out again, is there? No, right, okay. Oh, can't remember. Oh, isn't that terrible of me? I'm sorry, whoever you were. I did look, but didn't take any notice, because I don't like to work before I'm told it's time to work. Right, first of all, I was very aware of a lady. She wanted to give me the flower, lily of the valley. Lily of the valley is the flower of May, but she's given me it as if it's on a Royal Albert cup, the flower of the month cups. So what I do know is I want to talk to a lady who has another lady in spirit that right now we could do with sitting down and having a cup of tea with her and just having a chat. Just to, those girly chats that you have where you put the world to rights and then you actually spend some time enjoying yourself. It's one of those, it feels like one of those chats.
I think you've got Ethan Waters there, Joanne. Got her hand up.
Right, can't see. Right.
You want to speak, Ethan, and then she'll.
Yeah.
Bethan, I might be saying it wrong.
Just let me do it on speaker. Right, Bethan, if you just want.
I can take Lily of the Valley, quite significant.
Right, and would you understand the lady that we're coming up to the time we'd really like to sit down with her and just put the world to rights with her? And it's just like, because the call was a significant bit, as if, come on, this month, there must be something going off this month. I don't do anniversaries in this month, that month. So there must be something that's coming up in May where we could really just do with her peaceful, I want to say peaceful leadership and guidance from her. Does that make sense to you, Bethan?
Yeah, correct.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Lilies of the Valley, I can't remember a cup with it on, but
more about
in the garden, and Lily of the Valley is Mayflower, and it's my birthday.
Your birthday, right. The cup and sauce is just an indicator to me that I've got the meaning of it right, that it is about the month, but it's more the issue of sitting down and have, if we could do anything with this lady, it would be just to sit down and have a cup of tea, or several cups of tea over the course of an afternoon with her.
Yes.
Right, thank you. With this lady, I feel a nice full, if I say a full hourglass. But she tells me before she passed over, she says, where did it all go? So she would have lost quite a bit of weight.
Well, the lady I'm thinking of was slim.
Right, she's giving me as if I've quite... Right, she's giggling at me because I've just asked her, is she the same size as me? And she says, no, she might have looked it, but she was shorter than me. So I want to say she was like a size 14, this lady. But she would have...
You could have... Yeah.
Right, okay. I also want to say that she's given me click, clack, click, clack. So I know she's talking about knitting as well.
You might have got my mother as well.
Right,
as my grandmother.
Let the two of them slide into one another. I'm not bothered. Right. Would you understand the memory of home knitted socks? because I've got 3. I'm working on, thank you, I'm working on 3 double-ended pins. I can't do that. I can only knit on 2. But she's giving me memories of that. Right. And you understand your life has become, right? Thank you. This lady's saying your life has become like hers. It's one of quiet enjoyment. Where we're sat quiet, we've got to keep our hands busy, we've got to keep our mind busy. We're not putting our coat on and going out all the time. It is one of quiet enjoyment and finding, thank you, she says, finding that peace where we can. You understand? You've learned we can't expect other people to bring us that peace and joy. You have to find that quietness within yourself.
Yeah.
Right then. Would you understand why she's giving me a feeling? I don't, it's in my back teeth, top back teeth. So I'm not sure if it's dentures that were slippy or a problem with molars.
Now I've got problems now.
I was going to say, she's just said to me now, to clarify, it's now. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right. You know, when I did the introduction bit and I said about spirit using me as their puppet tonight, you understand where there are humans around you. On reflection, we now understand that they have used you as their puppet.
I can take another meaning of that. We did
That's
a concert when I was small, and I was a puppet on a string.
Right.
In the concert.
Right, okay. This lady's been quite clear, and I think she was a brilliant communicator, and she would say to you, no, I didn't say that. Listen to what I said. It's the adults around you have used you as their puppet. So you understand where you've been manipulated. And it's on quiet reflection we can go, well, I can't believe they did that. Okay. And she's just said, for that one for you, no, never no more. Never no more. What she makes me feel is that she realized how much she was doing for other people, and she started to sit back and get a little bit quieter. And thank you. She's telling me she realized she was looking after people who were not as poorly as she was. Yeah. And that's the moment when she realized that people were taking the mickey. Okay. Will you please take their love? But any time in this coming month that you feel you want to have a conversation with them, then just make yourself a cup of tea, and while your cup of tea is going cold, just call them in, talk to them, rant, whatever, give it to them, tell them what you want them to sort out, but will you please take their love? Thank you.
Yes, thank you, I will. And I do think I have got a little cup and saucer with the Lily of the Valley on it. Just a miniature Royal Dotten.
Right, you have a look for it. Yes. I know I've got over 400.
Thank you very much.
I know, Beth, and I've got over 420, but I do not have a Lily of the Valley one. Right, where am I going? I think I'd like to talk to Pam, please.
Oh, I'll check.
Hello.
Hello, sweetheart. I'm just going to put you on speaker view, and then I can see you properly. Now then, my love, as I said, I thought I wanted to talk to you. I could hear the proclaimers singing, I would walk 500 miles.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
And you're going to tell me it means nothing to you, aren't you?
Yeah. except I sing along to the song, yeah.
Oh, we all do, don't we? And march.
Yeah.
But for me, that song is about devout loyalty, and you understand where around you, right, the awareness you have is that people are not as loyal and dedicated to you as we might like them to be. So we would like them to make, at the moment, we would like them to make a gesture that expresses just how loyal they are or not. Quite clear. They're either with you or they're not. But you understand we are in a phase, and I need to say we have been for the last 4 weeks. So since the beginning of April, we've been in a phase where we've needed that bit extra support. Right. Yeah. Would you understand, Pam? Right. I've been a bit off it this last few weeks, and I call it being wishy-washy. Yeah. So would you understand being a bit flaky, a bit wishy-washy?
Yeah, very much.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Right, you would also understand a funny taste in your mouth as well. It's not COVID, I know that, because it's feeling a bit metallic. You know when you have egg whites?
Yeah.
A bit metallic. So it's just not right. Okay. Thank you. Who are you? Sorry, I've got a gentleman. Who are you? He says, he who shall be obeyed. And I know he's winding me up. He's winding me up. Because I don't feel that he did have full authority in his own household. I feel that he was told to shut up and sit in the corner. But there is this humour with him and a warmth with him. He's telling me he knew what to get involved in and he knew what to keep out of. It's almost like, that old-fashioned thing of lifting the newspaper up and pretending I'm not listening.
Yeah, I know who that is.
Right, okay. Oh, he's telling me that he used to have a cold patch on his back, and no matter what he tried to do, it's like that's where he was always cold. He's giving me it to one side, just above his, just above the hip. Right, okay. Oh, and you'd understand one of the significant symptoms he had with his illnesses before he passed away was that he was so tired.
Yeah,
it just makes me feel as if I'm sat and I've just all of a sudden I'm crumpled and I'm asleep, and it's like right, it's just telling me, like, if he had a hot drink, he never drank one hot, because by the time it waited for it to cool, he'd nodded off. And then it was like, oh no, you'd say, oh, I'll get you another one. I said, no, I'll drink it. But he does make me feel that he was appreciative of what everybody did to help look after him.
Okay, thank you.
So he's coming round to return this love and this sentiment of being looked after, because he's seeing that nobody is being quite as responsive to your cries for help. You remember the old Coast Guard advert where there's the old couple sat on the beach and she says, oh, look, he's waving. And the husband goes, no, he's drowning. Call the Coast Guard. And it's like this with you. You're trying to let people know that you're running out of steam. And they're not even picking up on it.
I'm not interested, no.
No. So he's coming round because he wants to help fill that gap a little bit for you. Would you please, oh, this is unusual colour. Would you please take from him? He's just given me, they've still got the long stems on them, but 5, I don't know why 5, but 5 lemon carnations. I haven't seen lemon carnations for years.
Never seen them.
No, not seen them for years. I know you get the little ones, but I haven't seen a big lemon one. So will you please take that lemon? But I feel with that, actually, what I'm going to say is there is support from 5 in particular in spirit. One of them's him and 4 others who are particularly wanting to help. Thank you. It's cleanse and clear your energies, because you are a little hypersensitive to other people. Because we're not feeling looked after, we're feeling vulnerable. And it's how they're approaching you. You're feeling quite jangled. Yeah. So the lemon is to help clear that. Okay. Oh, don't put that on my nose. Right. You'd have memories of around this man of wintergreen. Remember the liniment, wintergreen?
No, I don't remember.
Right. It's very pungent. It's just stuck the smell up my nose. If it's not to do with him, would you understand where we have the achy, stiff muscles?
No,
It's
not
him then.
offhand.
It's definitely it's from him. Right. Okay. Okay. What he wants to talk about is, thank you, don't skimp with yourself. If you need it, and it's going to help you feel better and it's going to buck you up a little bit, do it.
Okay, thank you.
right? Because he makes me feel that, you know, he felt cold. It makes me feel actually like he's almost sat on top of the fire to keep warm. And it's like, you know, I'll put another lump of coal on if I want to. Thank you very much. You know, it's like, don't cut your nose off to spite your face. If you need it, do it. Yeah, obviously within reason. But do it. Okay. Can't. Right. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Right. What he does want me to say, he said something and I couldn't say it because it's just too rude. But basically what it translates to is what goes around comes around.
Okay, thank you.
What goes around comes around. So don't worry about them others. What goes around comes around. Okay,
brilliant. Yeah.
Please take his love. He is a nice man. I thought he was going to start telling us jokes and gags, but he's not. He's gone a bit serious. But he did have a lovely, light-hearted side to him as well. I do feel that he was one of those that, as you were going into, you know, if you were going into a church for a funeral with him, he'd have you sniggering before the service, you know, and chuckling, and it's just like, no, I'm going to sit somewhere else, not next to him. But a lovely warmth about him. Thank you. He says there are lots of stories about him that would make, he says, that make me chuckle. If you start starting to tell the stories about him, we'd have a giggle.
Okay.
So will you please just let your mind wallow in those memories of him?
I will do.
Because you could do with a good giggle.
Yeah, I could actually.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Joanne.
Oh, you are welcome. You are welcome. Right, let's have a look. Where am I going? Can I speak to Gavin, please?
Hello, how are you?
I'm really well. I'm enjoying this, but I've just been very much impressed with a wheezy chest.
Okay,
and I know it's not mine. It is to the, you know, this top part. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Right. Whomever this was, I'm not sensing whether it was a gentleman or a lady, but that's always a clue from spirit to me that in that last 3 or 4 weeks, they were so poorly. They were, you know, they were less and less time here and more time one foot in the other world. And if we'd have said to them, "What's your name, sweetheart?" they would have just looked at us and then gone back to sleep again. If you want, you know, do you want a cup of tea? It didn't register. They no longer knew whether they were thirsty, who they were, what they wanted. So there would have been a lot of care being delivered to this person.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm feeling as if, no, can't say that. Right. Whomever it was, they had been quite independent in their life. Okay. Yes. Because I felt the little oxygen nasal tubes, and then I felt the plastic mask, and it's as if somebody was always putting the plastic mask back on their face, and the words I was given was interfered with. But obviously we can't say things like that, can we? But that's how they felt, like they were being interfered. They couldn't be left just to be. There was somebody there who was like, you know, tidying the night clothes and tidying the sheets and moving this mask, and it's just like, leave me alone. Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I can relate.
Right. But you understand for yourself, you like to be left alone to get on with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very much.
It's like, keep out my way, don't talk to me. For all the right reasons, because you have been brought up from a point of independence to the point of stubborn independence. However, you're about to get told off, Gavin. There is something happening around you at the moment where you do need to accept some assistance.
Okay.
There is something for you to have the best experience. It needs to be a little bit more of a collaboration rather than you doing it on your own. Right. Would you understand the gentleman in spirit who would complain of pains, aches, headaches at the back of his skull, at the top of his neck, back of his skull?
Ooh, not anyone specific, no.
Thank you. I'm going to go as far as to say this gentleman, if he didn't have the mini strokes, he would have had a stroke.
Okay.
He's giving me that pain coming up through up my neck into the back of my head, and he's just made me feel as if I could be sick. And
Yeah.
I'll put that with a stroke. Okay.
Okay.
But this gentleman would have been quite direct. He's telling me he would have got himself a bit aerated. So if he wasn't happy, he'd be muttering and chuntering and, you know, stomping about a bit.
Okay.
But he's accused you sometimes of being a little bit bullheaded, and I'm looking at you and I couldn't possibly see that in you.
How could you?
But he's saying bullheaded. You can't keep on being bullheaded. Okay. So, you know, one of the hardest lessons a lot of us have to learn is to actually accept help. It's not pride. It's not about hurting your pride. It's about the fact that you have been brought up in a fashion and life has taught you to do it yourself, because if you don't do it, it'll not get done. It'll not get done right. So you might as well do it yourself. But this is about you backing off and going, I don't have to do it all myself. And sometimes done is better than perfect. But whatever this issue is around you, it's to do with you actually asking somebody else for assistance and support, and it becoming a bit more of a collaboration. Okay. Would you understand the lady in spirit who would sit, you would have memories of her sat hand sewing seams?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. You would also have memories of some of her sheets being darned, bed sheets being patched and darned.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. But beautiful needlework, nice and even. And she took a great pride in that. What I also feel is that lady took a lot of peace. You know, like a lot of ladies, we can knit and talk and watch TV and read the knitting pattern all at the same time.
I wouldn't know, I'm a male. So
she gives me the feeling she was one of those ladies, so she could sit and sew and chat to you at the same time, and it didn't make a difference to her needlework. All right. But she does want to say, and I never understand what this saying means, but she does want to say a stitch in time saves 9. Yeah. Right. There's also a memory of this lady having sweeties, and it's like, I've got the paper bag, I've ripped it open, and she's popping a sweet into your mouth. As like, one for you, one for me.
Oh, yeah, but okay, it's the reverse. It would be me that would be doing it.
Into hers. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. But again, it's just that a notion of teamwork, one for you, one for me.
Yeah, I understand that.
Okay. Okay, sweetheart. And you'd understand this lady having a weakness in her wrist because she makes me feel I'm going to pick the kettle up to tilt it and I haven't got the power in my wrist anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know, she was a sweetheart. She is the loveliest feeling lady. She's not talking to me. She's just there, and she's just got this beautiful feeling about her.
Yeah, she was lovely.
There is a lot of the example that she presented to you that was like molding you. She really must have left you with some, you know, an education within sort of character and personality and nature, your personal nature, not plants and animals. But it's almost like osmosis. She taught you how to be a nice person. But actually, do you understand? I want somebody around her like me now. Around me like her now. I would love to have somebody who's just quiet and peaceful and easy to get on with.
Yes.
Yeah, there's too much complication. Too much complication. Will you please take her love? And I need to say, when she smiled, she had the prettiest face. And I'm not a clairvoyant. I can't see her. I can only feel that there was a love and a warmth and a joy in her face when she smiled. Every smile was a genuine smile.
Yeah, very much so, yes.
Now we come to the crux, Gavin. You understand there is somebody around you who we are smiling at, and we're thinking, take a running jump, sweetheart. So we've got this lovely, lovely smile. It is disingenuous.
Okay.
All right. She doesn't like it. You either smile and it's genuine and loving, or you don't.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yes. And with that, you know, if this lady, bless her, if as a youngster, if she told you off, she might as well have took a stick and beat you with it. Because it hurt, because there's so much, it just feels there's so much love between you and her. And for her to tell you off and tell you that you'd been naughty was like, oh.
Yeah.
So please take a look. Know that she loves you. She loves you. She loves you come what may. But she really just wants you to be honest, sincere, and genuine when it comes to your smiles and who you're talking to and how you're expressing or not expressing your feelings towards them. So take a look. Hang on a minute. Right, I know she was just going to shove some flowers in my hands, and I thought it sort of went through all, my mind went through all the flowers, and then she's just shouted, Daisy, Daisy, as if those are the ones I've got to give you. So daisies for me are about return to innocence.
Okay. Return
to innocence. So that's a little gift from her, but they look more like, not the little grass daisies, but more like a marguerite. The big ones.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to leave you there, Gavin. Thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. That was lovely. Thank you so much.
Oh, hang on. Very focals. Adrian, can I speak to you, please?
Hello, you okay?
Hiya. Right. Right. Would you understand, lady? Yes, a lady who could play the piano a little bit.
No.
Right, I'm sat here tapping as if I'm tapping out a little bit of a tune. It's not very good, but tapping out a little bit of a tune. Okay. Thank you. Understand. Want more about you. Right. Okay. The response to I want more about you is I was just me. She only ever saw herself as an ordinary lady. That's who she was. That's what she did. But the tune is about you dancing to a different tune. So do you understand where we're ready for some changes in life? We're ready for a change to the rhythm of life.
Yes, I understand that one. Yeah.
Okay. The tune, if you ask me what the tune was, I could only tell you that it's in a style somewhere between chopsticks and traditional jazz. right? So both of those, you make it up as you go along. This is how you find this new tune, this new rhythm, is we don't wait for it to come along. We start it off ourselves. Okay. You also understand that, right, okay, what she, sorry, can't, oh, crikey, they're just nudging me in a route that in this environment I can't go down, and within the spiritualist we can't go down. So right, what she's asking is that you are patient. We can't always get it right first time. It's a little bit of an experiment. We start, we build to it, we add to it, we take a bit away, we add a bit more. So it's about that alchemy of creation. All right. So if you're waiting for this something a bit new, a bit better rhythm, then you've got to start that rhythm going. Okay.
It's working against me.
Yeah, but there is no pressure for you to get it right first time. Okay. And that she makes me feel that's where you put yourself under pressure, is you want it right. Well, no, we have to build up to it. We have to add on to it. We have to, mix and match until we get to where we want to be. Right. Flowers again. Mesembryanthemums. They're a bit of a daisy-like flower. They've got sparkly leaves. They used to have them in like a border plant in gardens. I haven't seen them for years. But what they do is they open up in the morning and they go to sleep at night. So do you understand as well? Your life does need a better rhythm of bedtime, get up time, better routine.
Yes, it does. Yeah, but that's just been upset by work. So I'm going to have to struggle with that one as well.
Right, okay, because she's making me very aware of the closing at bedtime.
Yeah, every time I change something else externally changes. So I can't get standard routine, but yeah, I know where you're coming from.
Weird. You don't have a connection to Hawaii, do you?
I'd like to.
I would too. Oh, the South Pacific, the South Pacific Islands. Yeah, because all I've got is I've got a girl and I'm doing, I've got the grass skirt on, I'm doing the dance, and how weird. Right, okay. Adrian, with all this, you've sent your thoughts up to spirit, you've asked for help, but it seems that you're just being bombarded with things that are like diversions and distractions. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what they're doing? They're trying to get you to sort out what you will and won't tolerate. Right? Okay. So if you entertain every one of these distractions, that's all you're ever going to get. So you actually need to go, no, off you go, not interested. However, in terms of, I can only describe it, one of the helpers that I have, spirit helpers I have, is a Balinese dancer. And she comes to me when I need to calm down and settle down into a better rhythm. And I'm very aware of her because I can feel a bracelet with an anklet with bells on around my ankle, and I start tapping my heel, and that's when I know she's around. And I feel this sort of South Seas Island dancer. Can you see the technique I have?
Yes, okay.
That's not mine, I'm a disco girl. But it's as if she's coming and she's just trying to help you get into that flow of energy that you need to be in. Okay, that's peaceful, that you can walk through, where you look like you're gliding through instead of grappling to get through the energy. Okay, and I feel that this is what she's about. So just watch where you start sort of getting lulled by a particular energy, and I'll go with that. I actually feel okay with that. Right, okay. Right. Got a gentleman's energy, and I know that he would have been a naughty, disruptive granddad type. Okay, because he wants to poke you. But it's as a granddad would poke a kid, as to go, you know, trying to wind them up. And it's only because granddad wants to be a big kid and play with the toys, you know. But I need to say, with all this, there is some spirit activity around you that is disruptive. It is, right, it's almost like all these things going off. You're looking at them and paying attention. And there is something that spirit are trying to get through to you that goes, oi, we're here. We're here. All right. So whatever it is you're trying to do has got a spiritual context. It's also got your earthly life context. And the two have got to come together in the middle. Okay. That they can't be separate, earth, life, spirit. It's got to have that connectivity for you.
Okay.
I'm sorry, this is sounding a bit long-winded, it's sounding a bit cryptic, but you also understand, Adrian, you don't like everybody knowing your business.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's why we've gone right round the houses. But just you watch where that South Sea Islands girl wanders through your life. Yeah,
I'll watch out
just
for
trying
her.
to help you. Okay. Really? Okay. Would you understand having had a spider in your house in the last 2 days? Little body, great big legs.
No, not at the minute. There probably has been.
Right. Okay.
Not one that I noticed that I've been to.
Right. Will you just check for it, please? Little body, big, huge legs, little body. I've just been told it knows its way out. So if you go to chase it, it'll go out the way it came in.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Just go and find it. Just go and find it. You get brownie points for clearing out spiders and cobwebs. Right, I'm going to leave you there. Hopefully you've made sense of it. Hopefully when you have a minute and you can just sit and think about it. But certainly, again, I want to say about the mesembryanthemum. If you can work out how to spell it, just Google the symbolism of mesembryanthemum. Right. I can't even remember what its common name is. If anybody can remember its common name, will you please put it in the chat, and then Adrian will be able to see that. I'm going to leave you there, sweetheart.
Lovely, thank you.
Right, I'm not sure if I'm with Jodie or I'm with Catherine. So if you could both humour me, please. Right, okay. Ooh, right, what I have got is I've got a gentleman's energy, and what I do know that this gentleman would have had a feeling like indigestion, but I actually believe it was masking. No, he was talking about it being indigestion, but actually it was masking a heart condition there, because he's giving me some additional feelings. So I'm either with Catherine or Jodie. So if you could just let me know if that makes any sense to you. Right, he's saying that he's another one of those gentlemen, didn't like being fussed over. He's also giving me that he would get on sort of like the slightest activity, he'd get perspiring, and he'd have the beads of sweat on his head. Right, okay. And he makes me feel as if I'm going down the path, I'm going down the garden, and I'm having to find something to hold on to. So he wouldn't have been able to get very far before he went a bit wobbly. Can either of you take that, Catherine or Jodie?
Yeah, I can take that.
Right, Catherine, can you take that, love?
No.
Okay, I'm going to work with Jodie. Jodie, do you understand why this gentleman, if he were here, he would have wanted to give you an Easter egg?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't feel that he bought you a lot, but I feel that that was what he, you know, an Easter egg was something that he decided on. It wasn't that somebody else bought it and wrote his name on it for you. Okay. Thank you. And you understand now, I was talking to somebody else about daisies and return to innocence, but he's given me a little daisy chain to put round your head. So do you understand, at the moment you just feel like, oh, I've got enough responsibility, please God, take some of it away from me. Yeah, and it's just to lighten you up a little bit. Sweetheart, I don't know if you're a mum, but if you are, do you understand? I feel like, God, oh no, I'm going to go into a hot sweat myself. I had my children very quickly, one after the other, and I've just got that feeling of stood washing up, and I've got a child in a bouncy chair, and I'm diddling it with my foot as I'm washing up, and you know, so I just feel I'm overstretched.
I've got one, but me and my sister here, we had child at 3 months apart, so we were very always together, and it was, yeah.
I would just bring them up like twins.
Yeah.
But it's just like I am overstretched. Yeah, overstretched. Thank you. But the gentleman's just laughing because he was right. You know that swear word that's got a U and then 2 G's in the middle?
Yeah.
Well, it suggests you'd be sat talking and you go, oh God, it's so hard, it's so hard. He said, well, you silly, what did you think it were going to be like? And those are the sort of conversations you'd have with him. And he's just, you know, he just wants you to know he's no different. But my goodness, is that your sister at the side of you?
Yeah.
Right. Right. I've just asked him, Jodie, why he's talking to you and he's not talking, you know, he's not including your sister, right? Sister, do you understand? If things don't go your way, you get a bit mardy.
Yeah, I can do. She can as well, but yeah, I can.
Yeah, but she gets a bit sulky. And so he's saying that with sister, sorry, sweetheart, but with you, we just have to let you get on with your sulking. Whereas
with your sulking,
yeah, just let you get on with your sulking. Whereas with Jodie, she takes that frustration from that sulking and she does something. And they say, even if it is to bang those pots in the kitchen sink or throw things and slam the washing machine door, she does something with that energy. Whereas you, your sweetheart, your face, she says your face gets longer and longer.
Yep.
Yeah. But he does want to say that he loves you both. It's just, I'm sorry, it was just, you know, it wasn't favoritism. He just got on with Jodie's character more easily. That makes sense?
Yeah, if it's the person we're thinking, I knew him and she wasn't born. So.
Right, okay. You'd understand him having vegetables in his garden?
I'm not 100% with that one.
Right, okay. Right. What he does want to say to you, Jodie, is that you can't have everything that you want. Okay. So you have to decide what you want to compromise with. The thing about him having vegetables is that I felt him going to pick a broad bean. You know what a broad bean is, don't you? And when you take them out of that pod, they're sat in a silky bed. All right. And then you either eat those beans raw or you cook them and you either like them or you don't. But it's that soft bed. And I know what he's getting at. You make your bed, you lie in it.
Yep.
And that was his philosophy. When anybody said anything, you make your bed, you lie in it. You take responsibility, you accept where you're at, and you make the best of a bad job. Okay. Even if it doesn't taste very nicely. If you don't like broad beans, it's like, you know, they're the bitterest thing you've ever eaten. But that's where you're at the moment.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, it's tough love, isn't he? Tough love. Right. Okay. When I presume he's referring to relationship status. He's talking about kissing a load of toads. Never mind frogs.
Yeah, that could be any of us, but yeah.
Because it's just like he's got a bucket full of toads.
Yeah.
It's like, which one do you want, love?
Yeah.
But it could be funny. It could be very humorous. But you had to take it on the chin because he wasn't soft and fluffy humorous.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Jodie, you have thought that you've heard somebody in the house at night and laid there and gone round mentally. No, they're in bed, they're in bed, they're in bed.
Yeah.
It was him. He says he's sorry.
Okay.
Right. But he was always heavy-footed. You could always hear him walking into the house.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he apologizes for disturbing you and unsettling you. But it was him. But it's him just wanting to make sure that you're all right.
Okay.
That you're all right. Okay. And would you understand in your household, we're not very good at getting up in the morning?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because he's talking about a good old-fashioned knocker-upper. In the old days, they'd pay somebody to come and bang on the door and get you up.
Yeah.
He thinks that's terrible because he was always up at the crack of dawn. Yeah.
That's her. She's the one that don't like getting up.
Right. Even when, don't dob your sister in, you're as bad.
I'm proud of it. I like my sleep.
I do too. But it's yeah, even when he didn't have to get up for work or anything, he still got up early and got on with the day. Thank you. And would you understand in your household, there's stuff that we can't find. We know it's in the house, but we can't find it.
Yes.
Because it just brought my attention to a Springer Spaniel, like a dog. Sorry, no. You know, like a police sniffer dog.
Yeah.
We're not looking for that. But it's almost like we need to get the sniffer dog in to find it.
Yeah.
Right. But you understand why he's right. He's just put a little swear word in, but he says too much stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, too much stuff. All right. I think he's really dumb. He's really telling you off. Right. Do you understand it's time we got right to the back of the fridge to find out what we've got in there?
At yours. Right, it's her.
It's her house. Right. It's time we took everything out the fridge, saw what we've got, because he makes me feel there's stuff that needs slinging out.
It will be. It's my daughter's christening tomorrow.
All right. Will you please take his love? Know that he's incredibly fond of both of you, but you know, it might sound like Jodie's his favourite, but she's not really.
Thank you.
All right. Take care, both of you.
Thank you.
Right. Oh dear. Right.
It's up to you if you want to do another one, Joanne.
Okay. Can I speak to Angela, please?
Okay.
I like your surname, Angela.
Thank
Ringrose. I bet people spell it wrong on purpose, don't they? Mishear it. Because
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, okay. I've got a gentleman's energy. He's smart, he's tidy. Oh, he couldn't wait to get home and take his shoes off and his boots off. But whenever you saw him, he always looked very respectable and smart. And that's how he's, you know, not the best dressed man,
Right.
not expensively, but clean and tidy and smart. All right.
Yeah.
It says, even in summer, you never saw that top button undone. If you were out, tie on. A very smart looking fella. All right. He's telling me that he went wobbly on his legs. So it just makes me feel as if he started teetering and then falling over a bit. Yeah. As well. Ooh, he didn't have a lot of patience with himself at the best of times, but when he became poorly and his legs didn't work, by gum, he used some choice language against himself. All right. Well, do you know, it's another one tonight. Lovely lady, Angela, you are, but can you, he's telling me that you've been using some choice language because your body's not been doing what you want it to do.
Yep.
Right. Do you understand why he's giving me this feeling? If I'm in bed, I'm out of bed. I'm in bed, I'm out of bed.
Yeah.
All right. And then when it comes to getting out of bed, when we've got to get up, it's just telling me like it's like your hips and your legs have seized.
Yeah.
And I'm like having to go, come on. It's like I'm cheering myself on to get my legs out of bed. Sorry. You know, if you listen to him, the way he spoke about himself was quite self-deprecating. He really put himself down. But he's talking about you slithering out of bed like a snake. He must have been watching it because he's telling me you've gone, but you've sort of turned over. You've ended up on your knees with your elbows on the mattress.
It's because my bed's higher. I'm short, but my bed's higher, so I've got to basically like throw myself out.
But he's been watching you. He's been watching you. And he says the silly bleep. But you know what? He was just the same because he wanted to do it himself. He wanted to be independent. You understand? He only wanted to go out of his house in a box.
Yeah.
He didn't want to go nowhere else to die. Whomever his good lady wife was, he found it very difficult to, you know, he had ingrained about being a man's man. And he's telling me he found it very difficult sometimes to be a husband.
Yeah.
That it didn't come naturally because I don't feel, there's no excuse, but I don't feel that he'd been brought up in a particularly loving environment where it was give and take. It was quite a, it's just said school of hard knocks.
Right. Yeah.
And so to be part of that marital partnership sometimes was really hard for him. But it wasn't just about love. He's saying the respect he had. Oh, eventually.
Yeah.
So he needed some training in those early to middle years. And then as he's matured, and thank you, the good lady has turned round and said, I don't care what you say. This is how it's going to be. Then he was a good husband when he learned to do as he was told. But you'd understand memories of there being some proper ding dongs in that house.
Yes.
And I do feel he's sat in the lounge in front of the telly and she's in the back kitchen and it's going from room to room. And as he's ranting, I don't know whether you're stood there or there's other people stood there with you, but she's got the tea towel in her hand and she's wringing it and she's saying, I'll have him. But he's ranting. He don't know the gesticulations and what have you she's doing in miming, she's doing in the kitchen. But it was the only way that kept her going.
Yeah.
Because she had to see some humour in it, some dark humour. Right. But he does want to apologise for what you were exposed to in that household.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
You understand that it's took you a long while to learn to stand up for yourself and speak for yourself and stick up for yourself.
Yes, still trying, yeah.
And he's saying that's the impact that he had. He's taking full responsibility. He's not apologising, he's taking responsibility.
It's about time.
Yeah. Okay. What he's telling me is in those moments where you have a fit of temper, you just don't know how to express yourself.
Yeah.
Right. But what he does want to say is, please, when you're having those moments, and your body's not working as you want it to work, and you know, you can't get out of bed, you can't get out the chair, you can't get into the back of the kitchen cupboard. He says, don't be so hard on yourself.
Okay, thanks.
Don't be so hard on yourself. But I feel as well, when he was a dad, he expected a lot of his kids.
Right.
He expected a lot. But actually, I feel we've had the skin peeled from our eyes. We've had that divine revelation, and he knows now that how he was not the best way to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Right, okay. He's telling me that for a time he thought he was going to go to that hot fiery place. So on reflection, as he's got less mobile, more poorly, he's actually thought about his life and thought, oh my goodness, I were a bit of a stinker. Yeah. So it was a bit of a relief for some Peter to let him in. I'm going to leave his love with you, but there is a huge care from this gentleman that was never there in his earlier earthly years, but there was creeping in as he matured and become more poorly, and then had to think. All right, so take care, please, Angela. God bless.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry, but when I can't get my legs out of bed in the morning because my hip hurts, I'll be thinking about you. And if I start giggling, do you know what? I'll not stop.
Thank you very much.
Take care, sweetheart.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much, Joanne. It's for your beautiful and touching address, and also the beautiful readings that you've given this evening.
Thank you.
Filled with great validation and plenty of laughs too. It's lovely. Thank you so much. Okay, we give out our notifications. We have our open circle online on a Tuesday evening. Doors open at 7:45 for an 8 p.m. start, although it rarely starts at 8. So do come along, it's free, and you may get a reading, or if you're a developing medium, you can always come along and practice read. We also have our online Shakti Breathwork group on Thursday evenings. Doors open again at 7:45. Again, it's free, so do come along. Our next service will be Saturday, 7th of May. Doors open at 6:45. Our guest medium is Claire Louise Sutton. She has been before, and she was well received, so do come along and support her, if you will. All of our events are advertised in our online community, which you can join again for free. Just visit www.amadeity.org and sign up. It's free.
You ready for closing prayer, Kevin?
Yes, did you not hear me? Sorry.
No.
No, it's my connection is unstable.
Yeah. Okay, so if you just join with me and we say, Divine Spirit, please accept our gratitude, our humble gratitude for the blessings that we do have. And always keep us mindful of these blessings and of the occasions where we have been witness to the truth of spirit. And we ask, as we go forwards and we mix with the community at general, that we are encouraged and prompted to talk to others who need the love, the reassurances and the healing, to talk to them about the truths of spirit as we have witnessed them. Amen.
Amen.
God be with you till we meet again. By his counsel's guide uphold you, with his sheep securely fold you. till we meet again.
God be with you till we meet again. His wings securely hide you. Daily manna still provide you. God be with you till we meet again. Till we meet, till we meet,
Till we meet at Jesus' feet.
till we meet, till we meet.
God be with you till we meet again.
God be with you till we meet again. When life's perils they confound you, put his arms and God be with you till we meet again.
Till we meet, till we meet.
Till we meet at Jesus' feet.
Till we meet, till we meet.
God be with you. God